Hello there, everyone, and welcome back.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the 59th edition of JAL The Pitch. We have a wonderful episode for you guys today. We're going to be analyzing all these players, breaking it down. Who's ready to go? Kale, to you. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Oh.
You can't interrupt Brock like that. Brock is the legend of the pitch.
Oh, Brock opens the show every single time the exact same way. We needed a little mix up. He was laughing the whole time.
Well, yeah, that was funny. Anyways, this is the pitch, but today we're actually not going to analyze much because there's not a lot of new news that's, that we thought we should make a show about. So instead we're going to do kind of what we did last week and make a fun episode. So basically what we're going to start with is asking each other the question of, will it happen? So will whatever our scenario is happen in the upcoming JAL season? And we'll go around and answer that. And then after, we will also ask, would it matter? So whatever our scenario is, we'll ask, would that matter in the JAL season? And we'll go around and answer those questions as well. So first we're going to start with, will it happen? Ty, you're going to ask the first question.
Okay, so I'm going to ask Kale. What is so funny? I'm going to ask Kale.
Asking Kale, or do we both answer?
No, this is for Kale. This is directly for Kale. One opinion, not yours. Okay, so here we go. Kale, would it happen? Would the Lynx make the playoffs? Would that happen?
No.
Yeah. If you're going to say yeah, I was going to be like, no.
I'll give you a couple. You want a couple of reasons why, too?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I could give you
number one, first and foremost, that conference is too difficult. Everyone knows that. Secondly, and this is more, this has more detail to it and it's more complex than just that answer, which, frankly, is a good enough answer. But here's another bonus to it. They got two rookie pitchers, Morton and Heinzman, who I think they're going to be solid players, honestly, and when they're playing together, and they can rotate them. One pitch is one game, one pitch is the next, type of deal. I think once they get experience and all that, they'll be decent, good players that could be tough to handle, and I think they'll be good batters too. The only problem is on the pitching end, Heinzman he's out for the November 12th game, so their first 3 games this season. Morton is a rookie. He's going to have to pitch all 3 of those games. I mean, his arm's going to be shot because they're not going to 10-run anyone, so, maybe they'll get 10-run, but those games are probably going to be, he's going to throw a lot of innings, basically. And by the end, by midway through Game 2 and Game 3, I can't remember who they're playing, but that's going to be real tough. So if they had the dual rotation, that might help them. Which they'll have.
For that long-winded answer on a simple question.
Sorry.
Your turn to go to Brock.
So I'm asking the question now.
Yes, you're asking the question.
So I guess this is directed at you then, Ty. Will it happen? Will Anthony Nussbaum pitch a game in the upcoming JAL season?
Well, I want to clarify that. Will he pitch a game or pitch an inning of a game?
A whole game.
Oh.
I can't remember what the Lynx' schedule is.
Well, he's not on the Lynx.
He's on the Waves.
Not the Lynx. Excuse me. On the Waves. What? Do you know who the first 3 games are?
Yeah, their first 3 games are really tough. Let me pull it up real quick.
My answer before is he should not pitch, but if we'll see what the schedule is.
Well, their first 3 games on November 12th are the Cobras. That's who they open with. Then the Express. Then the Underdogs. I mean, that's a yikes of an opening schedule. Besides maybe the Underdogs, and they won't even have Mason. He's out for November 12th too.
Okay, that's hard. I I don't think he'll pitch. I think Adam is good enough to go 3 games. We've seen him do it plenty of times before. And the Cobras are probably the top team in the National Conference, and the Express are obviously the top team in the American Conference. And the Underdogs just got – it's kind of interesting. Adam might want to pitch against his previous team too, even though they sucked. But they just got 2 new signees too. So, I think he'll pitch all 3 games. I think if Nussbaum does pitch, they don't have a chance of winning that game. So,
all right.
Hey, real quick, I don't think there's any chance he pitches an entire game of this season. An entire inning 1 to 5. No way. They also have Lane Traver on the roster too, so he's the backup to. Well, actually, no. They have the Keith Bunn guy, the rookie that they signed.
Yeah, Brock, what kind of stupid question was it?
Clark, Bunn, and Lane Traver. There's no way he might not even see an inning.
Yeah.
He might not see the field. Anyways.
Maybe I phrase the question like 2 or 3 or more innings instead of a full game, but I think your answer would have stayed the same anyways.
Yeah.
All right, Brent.
All right.
All right, here's my will it happen question. Will the Wrecking Crew win more or will the Wrecking Crew go 500? Will they win more than 2 games? I know it sounds really weird, but you want to hear their schedule?
What?
Well, I mean,
it's directed at me, right?
Yeah.
I need to look at the schedule first.
I'm almost convinced. I can tell you their schedule.
So let me clarify the question. Will they go 500?
What?
The question is, will they go 500?
Yeah. Will they go 500 or better? I honestly don't know if they will. And that sounds
now
really
read
good.
off the schedule.
Well, it's all the American Conference teams plus the Rapids.
Yeah.
That's their 6 games.
So, well, after hearing that, probably going to say no.
Do you think they'll go 2-4?
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound weird, saying the Wrecking Crew or we think they're going to go 2-4?
Who do you think they lose to, bro?
Well, they're going to lose to the Bambinos.
Yeah.
And then their next game is the Rapids. I think you guys will beat them.
Okay.
So that put them at 0-2. And then the Lynx, they'll beat the Lynx 1-2. Express 1-3. Mafia, who really knows? No, that's kind of a tough.
Wait, who's the next one?
The Mafia.
Oh.
And then the Fog. So I'm gonna say no. I don't think they'll win 200 or I don't think they'll go 500. And this kind of goes back to last week, Kale, when we were talking about who we thought our surprise and letdown teams were. And I think me and you both had the record as our letdown team, actually.
I'm concerned for that team right now. And the thing is, they got better in the offseason. They added talent to their roster. Yet we think they're going to be worse.
Yeah.
So
standings-wise. No.
All right, let's move on to the next half of this.
Okay, so moving on to the next, we're basically going to do the same thing, but now the question we're going to ask is, will it matter? So Ty, back to you.
Okay. So I had a really obvious question.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I want to ask it.
Okay. Who's this going to?
This is, let's switch it around. Let's have me go to you now, and then you go to Kale, then me.
Okay.
So here's my question: will it matter? No. I had a super, super obvious question, and screw it. I'm going to ask it anyways. Will it matter that the Bison signed Colton Titus and James French's dad?
You You mean Eric Titus?
Did I say Colton? Yeah, I mean Eric. Eric is Colton's little brother.
Will it matter? I think my answer is kind of layered.
Kind of layered?
Will it matter in terms of wins? I don't think so. They might pick up. I mean, I think they won't lose every game now. I think they play too many games now that they'll win.
Who do you think they'll beat?
I mean, they could beat the Lynx, maybe. I don't know. I mean,
we'll beat the.
I don't know about that.
Honestly, I think they can beat the Storm and the underdogs.
Yeah, we'll see. But in terms of like really impacting the win column, no, I don't think it'll matter that much. But in terms of maybe moving forward and finding new roles for players, I wouldn't be surprised if Eric's okay. I have no idea what James's dad is going to be like, but I think there will be a small impact in the win column, maybe not so much.
All right.
Kale, you are asking to tie now.
Okay. Tie. This is kind of goes along the lines of what we were just talking about, actually. Will it matter? Or the Bison and the Lynx, they play each other, and their opening game is against each other. So either the Bison or the Lynx are going to start 1-0, right?
Right.
Will that matter for that team? Will that be any kind of boost for them? These franchises that are really struggling right now, will it matter at all to be 1-0 for them? Yeah.
I think it matters a lot because that is.
Well, it's
that
one
might be
they got
the only win in the entire season, huh?
That win will be one more win than both teams got last season. They both went over.
Yeah. I don't think that. I think the Lynx will win. I don't think. Look, the Bison picked up the Lynx. Lynx are going to win that game. That will be the Lynx probably only win. I don't think the Bison are going to win. So that's kind of like the only game that matters for them because everything else. Watch us lose to the Bison now. Yeah, I think that game will be a good game. Just because the teams are both so bad that it'll be a good game. So, but
But it does matter.
It'll matter to them. It won't matter to everyone else or the league, but it'll matter to them. So, I mean, whatever floats your boat.
Did we go through all of them?
I got one. I'm asking you one now, Kel.
Okay.
So, will it matter who starts at starting pitcher for the Northwest Mafia?
Oh.
That's a good question.
Definitely matters. I think, you know what, Brock, honestly, I think they got the Josh Burkhart guy. I think he's going to be a fantastic hitter. I don't know how good of a pitcher he's going to be, but I think, you know what, the Tate Klein and Colby Gaston, in my opinion, they're not either one of them good enough to be your starter and expect to, win in the playoffs with either one of them. I think, and I don't see that changing either, honestly. So I think they just need to go with Burkhart. I think they just need to commit to him and say, this guy's our ace, and Klein and Gaston. Klein, I don't know why he still hasn't signed himself yet. He says he's going to, and we're 2 weeks away. He's a good. But anyway, I think those two just need to be relief pitchers and back him up, and they just need to let him get a feel for it because I think he has more potential, or he's going to have more potential. Even though I haven't seen him, I just have a feeling. Based on the stats and stuff I saw in the other leagues that he played in, he has to have more potential. So I think just give him the experience, and then come playoff time, if they can get in, that'll benefit them more than having Tate and Colby rotate starting pitchers the whole season, get to the playoffs, and both get smoked by Kyle. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah.
As much as they think they can beat the Express,
not gonna happen.
Yeah.
I think you just get the rookie experience so that by the time playoffs come, he's not really a rookie anymore.
Yeah. All right. We went through them all, right?
I got a round 3 good thing.
Okay.
And here it is. It's kind of along the same lines too. Will your opinion, or not will your opinion, will your mind be changed if blank happens?
If blank happens?
Yeah, and this would be like early in the season type of things. Like if this happens early in the season, is your opinion or thought about this gonna be altered, or is it not really gonna?
All right.
So I'll give you one, just so we can get the feel here.
Who's this going to?
This will go to you first, Brock. Will your opinion on the Waves be changed if they start the season 0-2?
0-2.
And they open with the Cobras, and then they play the Express. Now, of course, the Waves, got to the playoffs last year, almost beat the Rapids in the conference semifinals. Got Clark to join the team. Got Lane Traver to join the team. Got the Keith Fun guy. They improved their roster a lot. Expectations are high, but they play the Cobras and the Express first game. They're going to be favored to start the season 0-2. Will just the sheer fact of them, if it happens, being 0-2 kind of do something in your head, or will you think, nothing different?
No, I don't think so, because their first 2 games are the Cobras and the Express. Those are 2 tough games to open with. I would expect them, honestly, to start out 0-2. If I actually saw them play and saw some questionable things going on, then that might be a different thing. But if I just see a record of 0-2 and see who they played, I don't think that would affect it at all. I think they would be able to pick it up and maybe make the playoffs come the home stretch of the season. So I would say no. So Ty, you got one?
Yeah, I have one.
So this is going to Kale, right?
This is going to Kale. I actually just have a question for Kale.
Okay.
Going back to the last one, I just want to know what you think. Do you think it matters if the Bambinos pitch Nate or Titus?
If the Bambinos pitch Nate or Titus, what now?
Do you think it matters?
No, I don't think it matters, honestly.
It matters either.
What a great situation to be in.
I wanted to think up something smart right there and answer with a good smart, intelligent answer, but I couldn't think of anything, honestly. They're the same.
Yeah.
I mean,
who's the Cobras' backup pitcher? I've been wondering this entire show.
The rookie we signed, Connor Vermillia.
Oh yeah. Okay. Never mind.
I think he'll be all right.
Yeah. I've never seen him play.
Ty, do you have a question in Kale's new round 3, or do I need to come up with one?
For if the opinion changes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so this is also going to Kale.
This is going to Kale also?
Yeah.
Well, you said you had a question before, and you said it was going. You still have that question?
Well, I have a question, but it doesn't have to go to you.
All right, let's just spit the question out.
Oh my gosh, okay, great. Jeez. So here's the question. Will it matter? Not will it matter. Will your opinion change if the Express lose a game in the first tournament? And
November
section.
12th? No.
Yes. No?
No.
They're still your favorite?
I'll tell you this right now. I think the Bambinos are a better team, talent-wise.
Yeah.
But I'd be more concerned about the Bambinos if they were 2-1 going into December 23rd than the Express if the Express were 2-1, because we've seen this from the Express before. We saw it last season. They came in third in the American Conference and then just won it. You know?
I'm just saying they would still have the Bambinos in the second part of the season. So that's a potential.
The reality is, if when those two teams meet at the end of the season, if one of them has one loss and one of them is undefeated, then that game is still going to be for first place because it'll come down to head-to-head.
Well, that's not totally true. I mean, like, what if the gosh, I don't even know a team. Who do you think will get third in that conference?
Well, I don't think anyone else out of that conference comes out of there with only one loss.
Yeah, I mean, maybe like the Wrecking Crew. What if they just came out of nowhere, beat the Express? Maybe they lost to the Bambinos, so they only have one loss. And they beat the Rapids.
That's reason.
Okay. If that did happen, though, if the Wrecking Crew one loss, they were in the second seed, they beat the Rapids and the Express, and they played the Express in the playoffs, would you still take the Express? Like, no, easy.
I've said this before. I think the Bambinos are the better team, but I'm not betting against the Express. If they match,
What does that do with the Bambinos?
I'm taking the Express.
I said the Wrecking Crew. If the Wrecking Crew only lost one game and they played the Express in the playoffs, and the Wrecking Crew is hot.
Look, if the Wrecking Crew only lose one game all season, then that means they beat either the Express or the Bambinos once.
That's what I'm saying. If they beat the Express and the Rapids and their only loss was to the Bambinos, and it was like a close loss.
Then would I take the Wrecking Crew in a 3-game series against the Express?
Yeah.
No.
Really? Even when Kyle has to pitch 3 games?
The Wrecking Crew have never won a playoff game.
Okay.
I'm taking the experience on that one.
All right. You think Kyle can pitch 3 straight games and win?
No, but they've got the Eric Keel guy, and they've got Sean. I think the Eric Keel guy and Sean can go head-to-head with Guthrie, and they could win that game. That's
all right. I disagree, but we'll agree to disagree on that one.
Oh, wait, is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm asking. I don't know who I'm asking. If you want to answer, you can answer. So, will your opinion change on this team, the underdogs, if after their first 3 games they are 1-2? I was gonna say 2-1, but I'm gonna go 1-2, and here's why. I'm gonna give you their schedule. Game 1, Northwest Mafia. Game 2, San Francisco Cobras, and Game 3, West Coast Waves. If they snag one of those games, go 1-2 through the first 3 games, will your opinion change on them?
It depends which game, because if they can steal one from the Cobras or the Waves, that's huge, because that's a conference game. That's a head-to-head. And in the way the tiebreakers work now, your conference record comes, it's like somewhere in there now. Like your conference record versus another team's conference record. So, in terms of that, it does you better if you're going to lose a game during the regular season. You want it to be against the non-conference team. So that would go a long way. And number 2 is the Waves have one of the hardest schedules. Their non-league is the Express.
Yeah.
So, honestly, I think the Waves could go 3-3, even though I think they're a good team. Lose to the Rapids, Express, and Cobras. And if the underdogs had a head-to-head win over the Waves, I think it's unlikely. But if they had that, my opinion would have to be changed, because given the Waves' schedule, the underdogs would only need 2 more wins to then basically come to the 3rd spot, assuming behind the Cobras and the Rapids. And I mean, you're gonna spot me with the Bison and the Storm, who the underdogs would get to play. Still in the back half of the season, because I'm pretty sure let me check. Yeah, the underdogs play the Storm and the Bison in the back half 3 games of the season. So I would almost say if they won that game, they would be the favorite to get in.
Wow.
But it won't happen.
Ty, what about you?
Yeah, I agree.
Say it won't happen.
I'm not as narrow-minded as Kale. I think that the underdogs. I mean, we've never seen these guys play, ever, and we've seen multiple times the rookies come in and completely dominate the league. So, I think it's a possibility. I also agree that it would have to be the conference game, not just against the Mafia. Not taking anything away from the Mafia, but it's just a bigger win if it's against a conference team. Especially if it's against the Waves, like Kale said, just because the Waves have such a hard schedule. Here's my opinion in the team that they beat. Like, if they beat the Cobras or if they beat the Waves, I'd be like, I don't know if, these teams are as elite as we thought, especially the Cobras. If they beat the Cobras and it's Sullivan. No, I'm just being honest. If it was Sullivan and you, who's getting paid about $5 million a season, and then whoever the frick you guys signed, and you can't get a hit, and you can't score, and they end up winning in a close game. I mean, I think you guys are going to have a hard time hitting the ball. But, yeah, it would change my opinion.
You don't have Dad anymore?
You don't have Dad. Sullivan's okay. No offense, you haven't been awesome. I mean, the last couple of give me that face. You signed Vermilia. I mean, and let's be honest, Bryce bats with one hand. So I don't know how you guys really.
Losing Dad was a big hit.
Yeah, it was. And who signed him? Yours truly.
I agree.
Yeah. Anyways, I think you guys can walk in wins. I just don't know if you're going to be able to get consistent hits for runs.
I'd agree with that. It's a streaky hitting team, definitely. Unless Vermilia steps up and hits like Dad did, just constant contact. Maybe not contact, but I don't know. That's tough to do. All right, I have a closing thing, and then Brock, you can wrap it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
We think the Waves are going to start 0-2, right? Cobras and Express.
Yes.
More than likely going to be, and they're not going to have Mason on November 12th, so probably 0-2.
That's a big blow. If Mason was on that team, I might take the Waves over the Cobras, but we'll get back to that.
Okay.
I was throwing shade today.
Do you think
shade? There's opinion.
Are the Waves?
Cobra fans.
Are the Waves in a little bit of trouble though, Brock? Like seriously, if they're 0-2 and they go into that last game, on November 12th for them against the underdogs, which is on Facebook, Adam going up against his old team, a little pressure on there, pressure being it on Facebook, pressure being that they're 0-2 and essentially it's almost a must win, honestly.
And the rookies have 2 games under the belt.
Yeah, I mean, and you're confident. I mean, even though they lost to the Cobras and Express, if that happens, your confidence would dip a little bit. Yeah. You're 0-2.
Yeah,
should we be? I guess what I'm saying is, should we be concerned about the Waves right
now? I mean, I would say yes, because I think that they will start 0-2, and then, like you said, that underdogs game is kind of a must. I mean, it is a must-win game because they'll have to win at least 3 games to have a chance at that to make the playoffs, and I think they have 2 winnable games in the last 3 games that they play. Being against the Storm and the Bison, they should win those games. But yeah, I think they definitely need to win that underdogs game, or I mean, they're kind of on the outside looking in at that point, having to probably beat the Rapids for their 3rd game. in their last 3 games to even have a chance to make it. So I would say yes. Ty, do you agree?
Well, can we hear you talk?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were cut out for a second. I agree with Brock.
Okay.
in a short answer.
Do you agree too, Kale?
Yeah, I think it's a must-win. And you know what? The more we're saying this, the more I'm thinking. I think a 2-4 team can make it to the playoffs out of the National Conference. I think it's possible. I don't think you have to go 500. I think if you go 500, you're going to be in. But I think a 2-4 could make it in.
You know what I love? You know what I love about this league now? You'll play a game, and like when this league was first going, you know, if you lost or something and you didn't make playoffs, you're like, man, whatever. The next day you're fine. But like if you lose, you're disappointed. Now, like Michael Sullivan has a reputation. If you don't make the playoffs and you're supposed to, you're gonna feel like crap for about a week. At least I know I would be. And yeah, it's not a gimme anymore either. Like the league is very well rounded in competitive teams, and so like upsets will become more of a thing. I think. Like I think the underdogs could beat anyone they play, but we have no idea if they will. It might just happen, and it'll be like, oh my goodness, unbelievable, the underdogs, you know.
Wow. That would be quite.
Well, what's great about it now is I think there's everyone plays everyone in the conference, you know. So there's that, which makes it more even and fair. There's just enough games with 6 for each team that you can afford to lose a game or 2 and still be in the hunt. Mm-hmm. But there's just few enough games too to where every game matters still.
Yeah.
Like if you drop a game that you shouldn't, you're in trouble. Yeah. But you can at the same time, you know, recover from that. Whereas before with the 3 games, it was like, oh my gosh, we just got upset by someone. We're not even going to make it in now.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
All right, that is our pitch show for this week.
Hold on. I want to say one thing. For those of you who are actually still watching, first off, kudos to you. Second of all, being honest, we have the JL merchandise in. We have T-shirts and we have the sweatshirts. If you haven't seen the logo and everything, you can just go on the website, and they'll be up there. We'll sell them at the tournament. The T-shirts will be $15, and we will take orders for the sweatshirts just so we can get an estimate of how many we actually need to order, and those will be $25. So yeah, I just want to say that.
Yeah, so you can find those on Facebook, Twitter, all the stuff.
Represent the league, yo. Come on.
Yeah. All right, that is it for us. Thanks for watching. Like Ty said, if you really are still watching. And
yo, if you're really still watching, you're gonna buy the freaking merchandise. Because if you're watching this video of wiffle ball analysis,
it is so like at this point. You know what? If you watch it all the way to here, you should text me or Ty or Brock and say, "Yo, I watched it all the way to here, and I heard you say this." They should get a free T-shirt.
Ooh, okay, I like that.
Let's forward to a free T-shirt, but you'll get a $5 discount. How about that? If you tell someone, you don't get it, because you have to be a true JL fan. If you watch this 25-minute video all the way through, you're like, "Oh, that's good analysis," and you are still watching it to right now, you are a OG JL fan. You can buy $5 off the T-shirt.
All right, Kale. End the show, or no one's gonna be watching this.
All right. See you guys later.